You know, there's a lot of talk out there about how Jewish people handle money. You've probably heard it in movies, read it in history books, or even heard it in casual conversation. Sometimes people say it with a bit of a side eye, but let's be real here. When the whole world says you're good at something, there's usually a reason for it. Instead of getting defensive or looking at it through a negative lens, why don't we just call it what it is? It's a compliment. If a certain group of people has consistently found success across different centuries, different countries, and different economies, wouldn't you want to know how they're doing it? That's exactly what we're doing here at Solomon's Treasury. We aren't here to argue with the world. We're here to learn from the best. We're going to peel back the curtain on these business secrets that aren't really secrets at all. They are just powerful principles that have been practiced for generations. Most of us are taught a very specific way to succeed in the modern world. You go to school, you get your degree, you head out into the workforce, and then you're on your own. It's like being thrown into a giant ocean and told to swim. You're a single individual trying to sell a product or a service to a world that doesn't know you, doesn't trust you, and honestly, might not even care if you sink or swim. In fact, for a lot of people, the situation is even worse. You might come from a place where people actually want to see you fail because they don't want you to do better than them. It's that crabs in a bucket mentality. But the Jewish approach to business is the complete opposite. It's not about being a lone wolf. It's about the power of the pack. It's about understanding that when one person rises, they bring the whole floor up with them. This shift in mindset, from me to us, is the foundation of everything we're going to talk about today. Here is the most exciting part. These secrets aren't exclusive. You don't have to be born into a specific culture to start applying these rules to your own life. Whether you're trying to build a small side hustle, grow a massive company, or just improve your neighborhood, these principles are universal. We're going to look at how the idea of community can change your bank account and your life. It's about building a support system where people actually vouch for you. Imagine walking into a room where people already trust you because of who you're connected to. That's the major secret we're diving into. It's a principle that will not only change your personal fortune, but can actually transform the lives of your family and your entire community, no matter where you come from or what you believe in. So, buckle up, because we're just getting started on this journey toward collective success. If you're enjoying these insights so far, make sure to follow the channel so you don't miss any of the secrets we're about to drop. When you hear the phrase, "love your neighbor as yourself," you probably think of a Sunday school lesson or a nice quote on a greeting card. But in the Jewish community, this isn't just a religious suggestion. It's a full-blown economic strategy. Let's break that down for a second. Most of the world operates on what we call scarcity mindset. And that's the feeling that there's only one pie, and if your neighbor takes a big slice, there's less for you. It turns everyone into a competitor and makes people secretive and jealous. But this principle flips that on its head. It teaches that we all come from the same source. If you do well, it doesn't take a single cent out of my pocket. In fact, it's the opposite. If you're successful, you're in a better position to help me later, or maybe you'll hire my son or buy my products. Loving your neighbor means genuinely wanting them to win, because you realize that their win is a win for the whole ecosystem. Imagine how different your local business scene would look if every business owner truly wanted the shop next door to have its best year ever. It changes the energy from me against you to us against the world. In the modern digital age, we're so used to doing business with faceless corporations. You click a button on a screen, and a package shows up. There's no soul in it, but another huge part of the Jewish business secret is the fact that these people see each other every single day. We're talking about the people you see when you're dropping your kids off at school, the person standing next to you at the grocery store, or the neighbor you see at your house of worship. When you have that kind of daily proximity, business becomes personal in the best way possible. You aren't just client row 402. You're Sarah, whose kids go to the same school as mine. You're David, who I saw at the park last weekend. When you see the people you do business with in your everyday life, it builds a layer of accountability and care that you just can't get from a stranger on the internet. You want to see them succeed because you actually know them. You see their struggles and their triumphs. This makes the community feel more like a large, extended family where everyone has a stake in making sure the neighborhood stays prosperous and safe. This is where the math really starts to get interesting. In many communities, when someone makes a lot of money, they might buy a big house in a gated community far away and never be seen again. But in the Jewish tradition, there's a heavy emphasis on giving back, specifically to the local community. We call it the snowball effect. Think about it. Why wouldn't you want your neighbor to get rich? If they are successful, they are the ones who are going to fund the local schools, support the synagogues, and keep the community programs running. When wealth stays within the community, it circulates. That dollar isn't just spent once, it gets passed around. The wealthy businessman gives to the charity. The charity hires a local contractor to fix the roof, the contractor buys lunch at the local deli, and the deli owner pays for his kids' tuition. Everyone wins. The goal is to create a cycle where money doesn't just flow in and then immediately leak out to some big corporation. It stays, it grows, and it supports the very infrastructure that helped those people get successful in the first place. It's not just about making money, it's about sustaining the place you call home. Now, this all sounds great when things are going well, but what happens when there's a disagreement? You might be wondering, if I do business with my friends and it goes south, won't that ruin the friendship? Well, there is actually a specific safety net secret for handling conflict that keeps these relationships from breaking. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive into how they handle the ugly side of business without losing their shirts or their friends. Have you ever felt like your community was holding you back instead of pushing you forward? Like there was a crabs in a bucket mentality where people were jealous of your success? Let me know in the comments below. One of the biggest fears people have when doing business with friends or people from their own community is, what if they rip me off? Or what if we have a huge argument? Usually in the outside world, if you have a business dispute, you have to hire expensive lawyers, go to court and wait years for a judge to decide who's right. It's a mess, it's expensive, and it ruins the relationship forever. But the Jewish community has a built-in safety net that is absolutely brilliant. If two people have a disagreement, they don't go to court first. They go to their rabbi or even just a mutual friend that both parties respect. This person acts as a mediator. Because there is a shared set of values and a shared community, people are much more likely to listen and settle things fairly. This keeps the money inside the community instead of giving it away to lawyers, and it preserves the relationship. Having a higher authority or a trusted mentor to help solve problems is a game changer that allows you to take risks you otherwise wouldn't. In the business world, time is money. If you're trying to start a business as a complete stranger, you have to spend months, sometimes years, building up a reputation. You have to prove you aren't going to disappear with someone's money, but within a tight-knit community, you get to skip all that. There's an automatic goodwill that exists. If I know your family or I've seen you at community events for the last 5 years, I already trust you 90% of the way. This allows the Jewish community to break into new markets and close deals at lightning speed. While everyone else is still busy checking references and signing 50-page contracts, community-based businesses are already shaking hands and moving product. That speed creates a massive competitive advantage. It's like having a fast pass at a crowded theme park. You get to the front of the line while everyone else is still waiting at the gate. Think about the last time you needed a plumber or a mechanic. Did you go to Google and pick a random name, or did you ask a friend, "Hey, who do you use?" You probably asked a friend. Now imagine that on a massive global scale. In the Jewish business world, being vouched for is everything. If a successful businessman says, "Hey, this young guy is good, give him a chance," that word is worth more than $1 million marketing budget. It opens doors that are usually locked tight. This isn't about nepotism in a bad way. It's about reducing risk. When you work with people you know, or people who are recommended by people you know, the risk of getting a bad deal drops to almost zero. It creates a circle of protection where everyone is looking out for everyone else's reputation. When your reputation is your currency, you handle it with a lot more care than just a paycheck. Now that we've seen how trust and speed work, you might be thinking, that's great for them, but how do I actually start this in my own neighborhood? We're about to get into the how-to guide for building your own mini-empire, no matter what your background is. There is a specific concept called buy local that most people are doing completely wrong. We'll fix that in the next section. Have you ever had a business deal go wrong because there was no trust? Or have you ever had a mediator friend help you settle a dispute? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. It helps us all learn how to build better networks. We see signs for buy local everywhere, at the farmer's market, on bumper stickers, and in small-town shop windows. But for most people, it's just a suggestion or a way to feel good about buying an overpriced jar of honey. In the Jewish business model, buy local is a strategic mandate. It's the for us, by us mentality, similar to what the brand Fubu did so famously in the 90s. The idea is simple. If you are part of a community, whether that's based on your faith, your culture, your neighborhood, or even your hobby, and you need a service, you look inside that circle first. If you're a Hindu and you need to paint your house and there's a Hindu-owned painting company down the street, you hire them. You don't do it out of charity. You do it because you want that money to stay within your ecosystem. When you buy local in this way, you aren't just getting a service. You are strengthening the very ground you stand on. You are ensuring that the person who lives near you has the resources to keep contributing to the world you both share. One of the most heartbreaking things to watch is someone with a great idea and a strong work ethic fail simply because they couldn't get a tiny bit of help at the start. In many cultures, we're taught never to ask for money, or that borrowing from family is a recipe for disaster. While you have to be careful, the Jewish secret is about not watching your people fall. If a cousin or a friend needs a loan to get a business off the ground, the community steps in to help them stand up. It's not about a handout, it's about a hand up. Think about how many brilliant businesses never started because a bank said no. If your community acts as its own bank, you become unstoppable. You don't let your people drown in the lone wolf economy. You provide the bridge they need to get to the other side of success. When that person succeeds, they'll be the one providing the next loan for someone else. It turns your community into a self-sustaining engine of growth. This is a point where a lot of people struggle because of their ego. We're often told to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and never ask for help. But that's actually a terrible way to get rich. The secret to Jewish economic success is being humble enough to ask for opportunities. Think of your community like a climbing wall. You know those indoor gyms with the colorful handholds. You don't get to the top by jumping from the floor to the ceiling in one go. You use the handholds that are already there. In your community, there are people who are already successful, your handholds. Don't be too proud to go to them and say, "I see what you've built, and I want to learn. Do you have an opportunity for me?" Most successful people actually want to help those who show initiative. By using the people around you as building blocks, you climb much faster than if you were trying to scale a flat, smooth wall all by yourself. Now, there's a specific word in Yiddish that describes a very special kind of happiness you feel when someone else wins. Most people feel envy, but this community feels something else entirely. We're going to talk about that in the next chapter, because if you don't master your emotions, you'll never master your money. If you had the chance to buy from a friend or a stranger for the exact same price, who would you choose? Do you think we have a duty to support people in our own circles first? Let's talk about it in the comments. In Yiddish, there's this beautiful word, Fargin. There isn't really a direct translation in English, but it essentially means to look at someone else's success and feel genuine, unclouded joy for them. It's the total opposite of the evil eye or jealousy. Think about how rare that is. In most parts of the world, when a neighbor pulls up in a brand new car, the first thing people do is whisper, "I wonder how they afforded that," or "they're just showing off." But the secret to Jewish economic success is practicing Fargin. When you see your cousin, your friend, or your business partner doing well, you celebrate it like it was your own win. Why? Because it proves that success is possible in your circle. If they can do it, you can do it. By celebrating them, you are keeping the energy of success alive in your community instead of killing it with bitterness. This is a hard truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. You will never become what you resent. If you spend your time complaining about the rich or getting angry when you see people making big moves, you are literally training your brain to stay away from money. Your subconscious mind thinks, well, if I become successful, people will hate me the way I hate them. So it self-sabotages your progress. This is why Jewish business culture places such a high value on being happy for others. If you hate your neighbor's success, you are building a wall between yourself and your own potential. But when you embrace the success around you, you're basically telling the universe, yes, more of that, please. I like how that looks and I'm ready for my turn. Mastering your envy is probably the most profitable thing you will ever do for your bank account. We've talked about giving back, but the real secret is doing it together. When you encourage others in your community to give to the same local causes, you guys aren't just donors anymore. You're a team with a common goal. This creates a powerful bond. When a local business owner gives back to the neighborhood school or house of worship, everyone in that community wants that business to succeed. Why? Because they know that if that business makes more money, the community gets more support. It's an indirect benefit. Giving charity locally isn't just being a good person, it's building a shield of protection and a fan base of people who are literally praying for your business to grow. You move together as one unit rather than a bunch of individuals fighting over crumbs. We've covered the mindset, the trust, and the community. But there is one final piece of the puzzle. It's the grand strategy that ties all of this together and ensures that this wealth lasts for generations, not just a few years. If you want to build a legacy that your grandkids will thank you for, you can't miss this final chapter. Be honest with yourself for a second. Is it hard for you to feel genuinely happy when someone you know gets a big win? Why do you think we find it so much easier to complain than to celebrate? Let's have a real talk about it in the comments. One of the biggest mistakes people make in business is looking for the quick win. Everyone wants to get rich by Friday. But the real secret to the enduring success of the Jewish community is their sense of time. They don't just think about their own bank account. They think about their grandchildren's bank account. This is what we call generational wealth. When you have a long-term vision, you make different choices. You don't take shortcuts that might ruin your reputation because you know your reputation has to last 100 years. You don't burn bridges for a quick buck because you might need that bridge for your son or daughter later. When you start seeing your business as a piece of a much larger family history, you become more patient, more strategic, and ultimately much more successful. You're not just building a job for yourself, you're planting a tree that your descendants will sit under. That shift in perspective changes everything about how you negotiate, how you save, and how you invest. In many homes, money is a taboo subject. It's considered rude or stressful to talk about at the dinner table. But in the Jewish tradition, business and wisdom are passed down like family recipes. The secrets we've been talking about today aren't kept in a locked vault. They are taught to the kids while they're still in grade school. They grow up hearing about the importance of trust, the value of a contract, and the power of the community. This means that by the time a young person in the community starts their first business, they already have a 20-year head start on the competition. They aren't learning by trial and error. They are learning from the collective wisdom of everyone who came before them. You can do the same thing. Start sharing these principles with your family. Make business a normal conversation. When you pass down knowledge alongside money, you ensure that the money actually stays in the family instead of being wasted. At the end of the day, the name of this channel, Solomon's Treasury, isn't about a literal room full of gold. The treasury is the collective wisdom and the network of people you build around you. No matter who you are or where you come from, you have the power to start your own treasury. It starts with one honest deal, one neighbor you help out, and one moment where you choose us over me. The Jewish business model has proven for centuries that when people stick together, support each other's businesses, and celebrate each other's wins, they become an unstoppable economic force. You don't need $1 million to start, you just need a community mindset. By applying these Jewish business secrets, you're not just changing your own life, you're becoming a pillar for everyone around you. And that, my friends, is the highest form of success there is. If you found this breakdown valuable, don't let the chain of success stop here. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the power of trust to the magic of celebrating your neighbor's wins. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 6 chapters resonated with you the most? Is there a specific principle you're going to start using in your neighborhood this week? Before you go, make sure to show some love to the channel. Hit that like button if you learned something new today. Leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. I read them all. And share this video with someone in your community who needs to hear this message. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to Solomon's Treasury and turn on those notifications. We're going to keep dropping these deep dives into the secrets of success, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and remember, your community is your greatest asset. God bless.